Okay, let's get into it because I only got about maybe an hour of this. Remember when I told you yesterday that the topic was prejudiceness? Prejudiceness reaches everyone, including the black woman herself. Mainly, the person who I'm talking about is Jasmine Crockett. And again, you would expect everything if you're black. If you're any other ethnicity, if you're any other or not race, but nationality, you would expect it. But I'm not going to go on it quite just yet because mainly when I viewed um, a who was it? Offender. I got to find it. Public offender. When I viewed public offenders live yesterday, I was in the bed asleep. I was in the bed trying to rest up for the midnight shift. Then the next thing you know, this shit comes up. This bullshit.
Here's Lady Eyelash's Jasmine Crockett explaining how she has to educate people on what immigrants do.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Not feeling well, haven't cursed yet. Okay, lady, again, it's an illegal legal distinction that you seem not to be able to make. Nobody's asking you to pick cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than be senator. Also, robots, and nobody's asking you to pick cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than be senator. Nobody's asking you to pick cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than be senator.
Mm, 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 mm. Didn't expect that one, did you? No, that train is never late. That train is never late. As a matter of fact, that was right on time. That was right on time.
Also, robots and AI are going to be doing all of those things. So in some sense, she's telling you the most racist thing possible. Because what she's saying is we need this endless lower class, which will often be black and brown people, to come here to do the jobs that she won't, right? She's not going to risk losing an eyelash in a cotton field, but she wants somebody else to do it. And again, those people that we bring in to then do that, to be the permanent underclass, the indentured servants for people like her, they're going to then lose their jobs to robots. And not feeling well, haven't cursed yet. Okay, lady, again, it's an illegal legal distinction that you seem not to be able to make. Nobody's asking you to pick cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that. Cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dave Rubin. Now, Dave Rubin, unlike any other, I don't know who these people are actually. The only thing that I know, he's gay and he's married to some white guy. and it'd be so easy to go off on him on a tangent, but I just don't feel like it today. You can, but I just don't want to. But okay, again, we expect the unexpected, but this is not going to stop us from doing what we need to do. As a matter of fact, I would love to be on a panel with. I would love to be on a panel with it. I would love to be on a panel with these people on the Piers Morgan show. I got such a headache. But anyway, they were on a Piers Morgan show, and the same guy was on there. He was reading and ranting about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. I think that whenever these knuckleheads brag about Charlie Kirk, the more I'm thinking they were fucking each other. They were nearly fucking each other. That's why they're so goddamn upset. If you think I'm lying, you think I'm lying. You know what? Fuck it. I'll go to it. Fuck it. It's Tuesday. I gotta get some sleep. We ain't playing with this today. I just think those two were fucking. I think old Kurt and David and possibly the dude that offed him, they was in the same room together. Am I lying? Otherwise, you would not have so much emotion attached to this. And you wouldn't be going after a black woman. Excuse me, I said that wrong. You wouldn't go after a black queen? Not like that. Especially when you're gay. And I ain't got nothing against gay people, but when you cross that line, nah, bruh. So right after I think it was this one. I think it was this one.
Attention is turning again to immigration policies and whether multiculture and Muslim culture
reflex reaction, which people often have after these.
Nope, wrong one. I'll find it in a minute. Yeah, I heard it. This feeling of white leftist liberals. Even these white leftists and liberals. Well, guess what? If the left doesn't want to, because she's going to need protection also. If the left doesn't want to do anything, then we'll do something. But again, let's remind ourselves that the youth is very, very important. The youth can do so much for you, or it can be for you, or it can be against you. Let's not play with this thing. All right, here's these people are. Hold on.
And death penalty and all of these things, and in the 10-year
way to absolutely guarantee deliberate, pre-planned execution of a high-profile conservative who, irony of ironies, was the guy probably leading the charge to sit down with people whose views you don't agree with. In other words, almost the opposite of what this shooter appears to believe that he represented. What is your reaction to it?
Well, Piers, before we do the political side of this, I just lost a friend. My friend was assassinated, a man who I spent an awful lot of time with, who I broke bread with many times, who I sat at weddings with, who I toured with and did many of these college shows with, a man who, as I was leaving the left about a decade ago and realizing the hysteria of the progressives, who welcomed me, even though we had various different opinions on very closely held things like
pro-life. It is legitimate to believe that there are only two genders, and we were wrong to suggest that that was not the case. We were wrong to say that that is hateful. When
it is the left, okay? When Joe Biden got died, you're gonna tell me what the left, your darling left, has done. The last two guests.
Piers, Piers, no, what they said was, yes, we should have reconciliation, but it is not without any contrition, right? It's not without a mea culpa. Charlie was accosted by Antifa at a breakfast in Philadelphia, and the video that I just played is you with a cartoon of him as Charlie Brown saying that he would love to be martyred so he could be the victim. Well, I guarantee you, his wife, who now doesn't have a husband, and his kids who don't have fathers, did not want him to be martyred. What you just played isn't what I... It's exactly what you said, brother. It's exactly what it was. Let's do it again. No, it isn't. We just heard it. We just heard it. It's not. All right, so... It's not. No, let's do it again. Cut this crap out. No, we'll do it again. Piers, can we talk about reality? This is something he's going back like 10 years.
I think Cheng should be allowed to respond.
What I said there.
And they don't deserve it.
It allows for easy martyrdom for these guys, and they don't deserve it. That was when Antifa was going after him at a breakfast in Philadelphia.
Okay, so let's let Cheng respond to that.
No, that was about words, you moron. Okay, Jesus Christ, man. All right, so now let's get to reality, okay? Shut up. Let's get to reality. Okay, so your last two guests, while pretending to be conciliatory, one of them started talking about me and started talking about blood on the hands. And then this idiot brings out a clip from 10 years ago that's about words and is pretending it has to do with violence. No show in America has called for nonviolence more than the Young Turks has. Oh, hey, can I talk? After being accused of terrible things that I didn't come within a million miles of doing. Who did Charlie invite to have these conversations? Me. Why did he invite me if I'm so bad when it comes to these issues? No, it's because Charlie and I understood that we could vehemently disagree. We could.
David, let me speak. So we understood that we could have vehement disagreement, and we often did. And look, guys, but without it,
Jake, are you going to delete any of those videos? Are you going to delete any of those videos accusing him of being a white supremacist?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because, Dave, what you're doing is... Oh. Dave, will you let me talk?
Do you think he was a white supremacist? Was Charlie a white supremacist?
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Well, if you're not going to let me answer, what the hell's the point of this? Okay, listen.
Well, you won't say...
Do I still disagree with the things that Charlie said? Of course I do. I'm not changing my opinion on that. And all the titles that you just read were very normal political disagreements. In none of the titles were there call for violence, because there never is on the Young Turks. And I abhor what happened to Charlie. I met his wife. This is a human being. Look, guys, there's two things that I propose. You guys can go back and forth.
Those headlines imply that Charlie's racist.
Remember, gang, you guys shit to do with this. The only time we ever say anything is when they attack us. This is comic relief at its best.
Besides, now I talk.
Oh, they don't?
Enough with the accusing and then not letting me talk, okay? So listen, this whole idea, both sides are blind. And Piers, you know this better than anyone. I call out Biden and I say, Democrats, are you crazy? He's obviously old. He's obviously lost his faculties, right? And now this absurdity about how the right are all angels. Are we kidding? You guys didn't see January 6th? You didn't see them attacking cops, raiding the Capitol, chanting, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. But that leads to my point, not that the right is more guilty. And I'm sickened by the trend that has now appeared on the left of violence. I'm sickened by it. So I'm proposing two things, guys. Well, no way should we ever shut down speech. No way. Not right-wing speech, not left-wing speech. You don't shut it down with the government, and you don't shut it down with violence. So first thing is easy. The second one is hard. The first one is on all of our shows, as we do every day, call for nonviolence. The minute you see someone saying something violent, say, don't do that. That is unacceptable. That is not who we are on the left. That is not who we are on the right. That is not who we are as Americans. You can say anything you want. For example, did Charlie say things that were anti-Muslim? He did. Did I still talk to him? Yes. And I got heat for that. But guys, we're never going to convince each other if we never talk to one another. And now, if we start killing each other, it's madness. There's nothing wrong with disagreement, but there's something terribly wrong with violence and shutting down conversations. And then the hard one. I just think the left and the right. There is no such thing. Hold on, last thing. We're not. There's no such thing as the left or the right.
there are people that are a giant range, and we explain this on the Young Turks all the time about the right wing, which is, guys, are they radical right? There are, right? But are they the entirety of all of the Trump voters? Of course not. There's so many good Americans who voted for Trump, who, by the way, some of them voted for Obama before, some of them voted for Bernie before. Same thing on the left. This guy's a lunatic. Are there extreme left-wingers? By the way, the clip that you showed, Piers, no prominent Democrat or left-wingers on there. But that clip sickened me. It sickened me. So
okay, but check.
Elements in the left
but check,
now,
hang on.
of course,
hang on.
But check.
And then, but of course, it's like I said, you get the badass. And when I say the badass,
We done picking cotton.
Here's Lady Eyelashes, Jasmine Crockett, explaining how she has to educate people on what immigrants do.
So I had to go around the country and
Okay, lady, again, it's an illegal legal distinction that you seem not to be able to make. Nobody's asking you to pick cotton, although I think you'd be better qualified to do that than be senator.
needed as it may, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep campaigning, and we're going to keep promoting this thing. Okay? We're just going to push forward because we're going to expect the unexpected. Although I have no problems pointing it out. No problems at all. Let me be on the same panel as these goofballs and see how I do. Although I'm going to have to get some, what they call those things. I don't really call those things, those softeners. It's something you squeeze a ball every time you feel tension, every time you feel like you about to rage out, you about to crash out. I need one of those balls just in case. No pun intended. I just need something to squeeze in my hand just in case. Stress balls. Pause. I need to cling on to those just in case I get a itch to cussing out a redneck Peckerwood. I can't even say the F word like this dude here. I really but I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep on going. We the train ain't stopping here. We got until March, and then we got until November. So please go to change.org/Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. And now the big finito. The big finito, I will leave you with this because I know y'all got the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband thing going on. So there we go. I like these two. I really like these two.
Then we hear that she is being
Thank you for the
aggressive.
gift. Thank you for the lovely gift.
Like, either way, you lose.
Yeah, that's why it don't make any sense to do anything but what you want to do. Because people going to have a problem regardless.
So, listen to this clip that's going viral. Listen to this.
about the criticism where some people have said, I know you've seen it on social media, where people are saying that some of them aren't going to vote for you because of this pro-Israel stance. What do you have to say about that?
What I have to say is that people need to start to do their research and stop falling for the clickbait. Listen, if you loved me before, then what has changed? You can always look at my voting record and know what it is that I haven't voted for, but it's quite intellectually lazy if you just sit there and let somebody else tell you something and you don't go and get the full picture. You can always look at my FEC filings and find whatever information it is that you seek. So what I will tell you is that I'm not going to be distracted, because at the end of the day, I can tell you that Texans are concerned about the fact that we lead and uninsured in this country. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because right now, jobs are few. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because they can't afford childcare. I can tell you that Texans are concerned because hospitals are about to close down. And if you have questions then you should just go and look at my record. I have nothing to hide. I wouldn't be running for office if I had anything to hide. But what I'm not going to do is allow people to sit here and have me on the defensive about something that they don't even know what they're talking about, because it is very easy to look up who is endorsed by who and to figure that out. That is intellectually lazy for you not to just go and look who has been endorsed.
Can I be frank? Can I be frank for just a second? Now, we're going to be 100% real. The only reason why people are coming up with these crazy videos, and half of them don't even know what they're talking about, or they're just looking up some scandal or whatever to try to get Jasmine Crockett to croak or confess some shit. Why can't we just say, because she's a black woman, she's an educated black woman, we don't want her in the Senate? Why can't you just say that? Why can't you just say, why can't white people, white folks, and some of these liberals come out with the truth? Because we don't want a black woman in Senate. Just come out and say it. We don't want a black woman in the Senate, let alone the White House. Just come out and say it. Be truthful. Don't be a bunch of cowards. Do not be a bunch of cowards. Do not be a bunch of pussies. Just go out and say it. Do me a favor. Somebody clip this. Hey, white folks, why can't you just come up with the fucking truth already? Just say you don't want Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate because she's a black woman. Just say it. She's say it with me now, a black woman, and we hate black women. Just say it. Just say, you racist bastards. Just say, we don't want a N-word. You know you're going to say it. Just come out and say it. You're going to say it. Don't deny it. You're going to fucking say it. If you don't say it externally, you're going to say it internally. I'll say it again. If you don't say it externally, which is outside the media, you're going to say it internally, which is in here, because you know you're prejudiced. You know you're prejudiced as hell. So why don't you just come out and say it? Say you do not want Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate because she is a black woman. Now, getting back to our regular program.
All right, so on that video, Amanda Seales commented, and she said, "She sounds a damn mess. I'm so disappointed in her choosing this path. Blink twice, sis."
What does that mean?
I just wonder what the end game is.
Because her opponent on the Republican side, if y'all got to choose between two people, which one is it? And spread, it won't hurt her. She'll be good.
Here about what's happening in Gaza, the genocide, the atrocities, the carnage. I do think that there are people who genuinely want to see a shift in U.S. policy as it relates to support for Israel, as it relates to being more forceful about the U.S. coming to the aid of Palestinians. With that being said, when it comes to this U.S.-Texas Senate race, you guys are full of fucking shit. Period. And I'm going to tell you why I know you're full of shit. Because Colin Allred, up until Monday of last week, was the leading contender for the same fucking seat. He ran an 18-month campaign for U.S. Senate. He got 5 million votes in that race, 1 million more votes than Beto did in his races that he ran. Ted Cruz got more than 5 million votes because obviously he won.
Colin Allred got more votes than Kamala Harris did in Texas. There was no fucking conversation about what people voted for in Congress. Mind you, Colin Allred, at the time of his 18-month Senate campaign, was a sitting U.S. motherfucking congressman, taking identical votes to what people are calling out right now that Jasmine Crockett took. I checked the fucking record. They both voted no on the same things. They both voted yes on the same things. Where was this fucking conversation 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, 24 motherfucking months ago?
Now I know who Amanda Seal is. Now I know who Amanda Seal is. These people flip-flop faster than I just don't know what to tell you. These people just straight up flip-flop faster than God knows what. I just don't understand it. First, it's well, I could say for the most part with one particular person that I can't stand talking, but she flip-flopped yesterday. First, she has a hate. This woman, I don't feel like doing any research right now. So let's just stick with the Mansfields right now. We're talking about the same woman that is just very, very hard on for Jasmine Crockett for whatever reason, but yet what does she do? Someone give me a quick description of what Amanda Seal does other than talk shit. What does she do? Who sponsors her? We have to know who sponsors her. Because I tell you, we need to start. I'm gonna have to start trimming some fat. We're gonna definitely have to start trimming some fat, people. We're gonna have to start trimming some fat. Now, mind you, she's a very intelligent person, so I'll give her that. But so is Jasmine Crockett. So is Mrs. Waters, Maxine Waters. So is Michelle Obama. But I do get the whole premise of we can't continuously vote for the candidates that you like. We have to go for the candidates that will do something, will give us tangibles, who would give us 40 acres and a mule, which I tell you, dumbass Negro, like I said, there's a sucker born every fucking year. There is a sucker born every fucking year. And you're doing the exact same thing and repeating the exact same thing. Oh, no tangibles, no vote. It goes nowhere. Adolph's did it. Now FBA are doing it. You're just repeating the same cycle. But I ain't gonna hold you. If it works for you, it works for you. But we're gonna continue this 10-year cycle plus another 10-year cycle of no tangibles, no votes. What if I told you, okay, I'll give you this candidate didn't work for black people, that candidate didn't work for black people. But what if Jasmine Crockett was the diamond in the rough? And we got to her just like the Hispanics got to her yesterday when she did her live on TikTok / Instagram / I think she was on Facebook / YouTube. She got to them. Why can't we get to her? Why can't we ask her any questions? You don't want to. You do not want to. And what the sad part is, when you start bitching and moaning about reparations and you don't get it, all of a sudden you want to blame her. The fuck? You want to blame her for some shit that you're not gonna get. I'm telling you, the only way you're gonna get reparations is through blood. Is through bloodshed. And most of your tribes, are back there. But you don't want to side with them. You want to go over to Britain, where Britain is your representative. Britain is definitely your representative. Just like I think in Jamaica. Who did you say Jamaica was a representative of? I forgot what that lady told me. Reparations for what? What you mean reparations for what? Black people truly do deserve reparations, but the fact of the matter is you do not have a great representative. You don't know who you are nationality wise. You're just going upon what you think you know. You're FBA, you're this, you're FBA, you're Adolfs, you're Israelites, you're this, you're that. You're all over the fucking place. And now the plan is what I heard, and this is what I heard. The plan is to go to the person in power, which is Donald Trump, and tell him, are you going to do something for us? Who? Who is going to do something for you, sir, ma'am? Who is going to do something for you? Trump ain't going to do shit for you. Stop living in this fantasy world. If he wants you, get this through your heads now. Why would Donald Trump want to do anything for you when the fact of the matter is he wants to boot you out of the country? He wants to boot you out of the United States. And you're telling me that you're just going to force your way to Washington, march up through there and say, hey, you're going to do something for foundational Black Americans. Not going to work. And the next person ain't going to do nothing for you either. And then the next person. And then the next person. They have you. They have your Social Security. They have your bonds. They have your driver's license. And they're all coded. You belong to them. Unless you have freed yourself by freeing yourself of the status that you proclaim, which is African American, which nobody knows what African American is. No one knows what Black is. But you keep calling yourself that, and you're wondering why you're tribal. It's sort of like tribalism. You're split. You're just straight split down the middle. You don't even know who you are. What's an American? I believe that, and this is in my heart of hearts, I believe that we have been colonized for so long that we don't even have an identity. Spiritual wise, that is. Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, we don't have any identity. And for us to look for a way out has sucked us dry. Now we're in a fight or flight mode. Oh, if you ain't gonna give us this, you ain't gonna give us that, well, we'll force it from you. We'll force it. We'll just take whatever we want. We'll just take whatever the hell we want. Oh, really? So what you're gonna do? You're gonna fight your way through this? I'm sorry. America has too much blood on it. It has too much blood on its hands. I'll stick with my Africanity. America has way too much blood on its hands. First, you disrespect Martin Luther King. You disrespect Malcolm. You disrespect Harriet Tubman, a woman who has sacrificed damn near her life. You disrespect Sarah Bartman. You disrespect the legacy, and then you're gonna have the nerve to you have the nerve to bring that over here, turn it into some type of freak dance, and you can't even acknowledge where you got twerking from. You can't even not acknowledge the 4 books of the Bible, where you got that from. You can't even acknowledge your own culture. What is your culture? You can't even get along with the people that look like you, but they just speak a different language. You don't want to get along with them. All that what happened centuries ago, that shit should have been sailed. This is a whole This is a whole new generation, a whole new clean slate. If we can't come together like Voltron, then what the hell are we doing? White folks, they don't get along with each other either. But once they see you, they see your black ass, they come together like Voltron. And what's worse, they send people from other countries, South African, white South Africans, the Israelis, the Arabs over here to get rid of you. They want to get rid of you. They want to quickly diminish your numbers. Remember when I said the other day, and this was right after Trump did all that shit with the immigrants, put them on buses. This was ICE. Put them on buses and got them the fuck up out of there. Why did he go to Chicago? Why did he go to Baltimore? Why did he go to those places? To get rid of you. And people say, no, he can't get rid of black Americans because I was born here. They don't care. They do not care. Once he gives the order, an illegal one at that, but because he's the president and because he has immunity, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's already violated the Constitution. I told you time and time again, once they put that face back in the White House, they don't have to do anything else. Right. We all know that white folks don't belong in this. They don't belong here either. White folks do not belong here either. You need to take your ass back up to Europe. Oh, I forgot you were decimated in diseases and famine. And you had 8 ships lined up to set sail to the Americans. To the Americans. Later came who? Christopher Columbus. And they have, I don't know why Columbus University had a statue of him. And this is in real life. Columbus University really had a statue of this guy. Does this sound familiar? And there's some fine couples on all sides. You need to be careful. You need to be extremely careful. And we need to start making up in our minds. Do we want to form together? And you can't put everybody in a box. You can't put Haitians in a box. You can't put Africans in a box. You can't put everyone that was talking shit before, throw them to the garbage. But the rest of them, they come here and they work. They just work. You know, it's funny and it's strange when Fidel Castro was here in America and he fled to Cuba and he dominated in Cuba until he was 90 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he fund Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? And when Colin Kaepernick, remember when Colin Kaepernick had a Malcolm X hat and he had a Fidel Castro shirt on and all the media was like, oh, why are you having a mass murderer? It's the same thing going on in Israel. Same thing. Why are you representing Israel? In the next 4 years, it's going, why are you representing Russia? In the next 4 years, it's going, why are you representing China? It's all the same. Yeah, real quick. Why did Donald Trump go to Chicago and drag all them black folks out with those kids and put the bracelets on? Or what you call them, clip ties or whatever you call them. And that's another thing. They got you fighting amongst one another in the chat, and you don't even know it. Remember when I said Donald Trump is the face? The real people who are pulling his strings are not even here in the country. Oops. the face. I can do whatever I want, when I want, as long as I pay these people. And they're not even in the country. And they got you acting like they got you fussing and fighting in the chat. Hell, they got you fussing and fighting everywhere. There is a specific reason why there was formed a rainbow coalition between Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers, whites and Hispanics. There's a reason for that. Because they wanted to show the world that we can exist under one umbrella. But J. Edgar Hoover had plans for that. What does this all have to do with Jasmine Crockett? I'll tell you. If we reach her first, or if we reach her, because Hispanics already got to her, if we reach her and we start asking, what are specifically you're going to do for Black folks? And let's just say for the sake of argument, she says nothing, which I know she's not going to say nothing. She's going to say something. But if she just gives up a bunch of word salad, we'll just let her be. But if she starts naming off some things like, I want to say STEM, but I want to say STEM. I mean, we can definitely use STEM. If they could give us more STEM programs, if they could give us more of those trade, if you help us give us more of those trade jobs, if you can help us get us a better wage, because right now in certain states, certain areas, it's still $7.50. Other areas it's $8.50. And in possibly one or two places it's $9.50. We need to bump that up to we need to bump that up to at least $18 an hour. At least. And of course, nobody can live off that. Nobody can live off $2,000 a month. You cannot constantly keep living off, especially when you have family, to live off $2,000 a month. That wage needs to get bumped up. And if she does give us an indication of any type of tangible, then we'll ride for you 100%. As a matter of fact, we'll do early voting. We'll go ahead and do that early voting in March. That's not enough. Especially when you got to go through those toll lines. It's not enough. And some skill labor jobs, they don't even pay but $19 an hour. I mean, it's a start. But when experience comes in, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, you're going to get that. You're going to get those type of things. But you got to put in the work. And once you put in the work, go ahead and save up some of that money, put that in the savings account. Get yourself an investor. And once you get that investor, start looking for like a small little building that you can call your own. And then start hiring. And then start hiring people, because now that you mastered your craft, you have the experience, now you can start working for yourself. And when you start working for yourself and the money comes in, then you can start hiring 1 or 2 people to help you. That's what we're talking about. We don't want to work under any other ethnicity. Sorry. We don't want to work for the white man no more. We don't want to work for Hispanic unless the Hispanic claims his Africanity, 1. And number 2, helps us out in the field. And if you don't want to do that, you can be a trucker. Own your own rig. You gotta get your CFL though, CFL level, whatever it's called. Gotta get your CFL, and once you get CFL, get a rig and make sure you carry the biggest load. Get that money going, and once you get that money set, get your own rig. CDL, thank you. Go and get your CDL and start pounding it. But yes, Jasmine has to be that. Jasmine has to be that wheel. Jasmine has to be that glue. So start calling on the phones. Get her attention. Ask her. And I did say I was going to come out with some merch, but they keep taking my shit. They keep taking my ideas. But I came up with one last night. Jasmine Crockett, something about the youth. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going ahead and leave it at that. I don't even know what I put that on. Okay. Amanda fucking Seals. When you said Amanda Seals, I was like, wait a minute. Ain't that one loudmouth chick? I really don't have the patience for her. Or
the genocide was happening then too. Where was this fucking energy for Colin Alred? You want to know why it wasn't there? Because talking about Colin Alred doesn't get you clicks. It doesn't get you views. You can't monetize it because nobody gave a fuck enough to make anti-Colin Alred content go viral. But if you make anti-Jasmine content go viral, then it's the motherfucking bonanza. People gonna be on your live, gift. It's gonna get fucking spread. So y'all are full of shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna stand in it. This race will not be won or lost based on Israel. The position of the United States of motherfucking America has been to support Israel. If y'all motherfuckers had the political clout that you needed, why is Jamal Bowman not a congressman? Why is Cori Bush not a congresswoman? So you don't have the fucking clout, but what makes you feel powerful is punching what you think is punching down on black women, because everybody's going to be on your motherfucking side when a black woman is the one in your fucking crosshairs. It is very easy to put James Tallarico on this fucking pedestal because he's not in Congress. He doesn't have to take fucking votes. He's not in Congress.
How do you think James Tallarico would have voted if he was in Congress? And I want to add, Colin Alred did take AIPAC money, since folks really care about AIPAC money.
Well, let's also bring that in. So my whole point is not that you don't genuinely care. I think you genuinely care. Sure, you genuinely care. I genuinely care about a lot of them.
So the Republicans have decided to roll over.
The genocide was happening then too. Where was this fucking energy for Colin Alred? You want to know why it wasn't there? Because talking about Colin Alred does.
If he was in Congress. And I want to add, Colin Alred did take AIPAC money, since folks really care about AIPAC money.
Well, let's also bring that in. So my whole point is not that you don't genuinely care. I think you genuinely care. Sure, you genuinely care. I genuinely care about a lot of motherfucking things. But did you care enough to have this fucking conversation about the motherfucker who got 5 million motherfucking votes from the Democratic Party last time? No. And you didn't have the fucking conversation 2 weeks ago. So that's why you're full of shit. So good luck. Good luck. Maybe you want to pressure the motherfucking president. Maybe you might want to motherfucking go protest the Secretary of goddamn Words doing fucking push-ups in Dulles. Where you at? Or pull-ups and shit. He's chilling. Marco Rubio looks like he's fucking chilling. You know you have a whole fucking federal government that's actually perpetuating this shit right now. Where is the energy for that motherfucker? The Texas Senate race is now about Gaza and Israel? And it wasn't enough. Okay, it used to be AIPAC. Oh, AIPAC money is bad. Okay, now let's move the goalpost. Now you're saying that you cannot be a Democrat who takes any pro-Israel votes at all, ever? You don't think that that is completely fucking delusional? That's stupid to me. That's dumb. And I'm not falling for it. It is an online conversation. And then now you have all these online people who go back and forth and argue about this shit. And then they take it in person and ask her fucking questions. So then now it becomes she's being asked questions that will not be the deciding factor in this race. Because like I said, in 2024, which is last fucking year, there were over 10 million votes that went to fucking pro-Israel, if that's what you want to boil it down to, candidates. And y'all ain't say basically boo. And I looked at these people. I'm not even going to name names right now because that's beside the fucking point. But I looked at something, let me see where they made an anti-Colin Alred video. What the fuck? So you guys in your double standards can kiss my black ass. Period. And guess what? It is actually about fucking time that black people stop being expected to be the mules of now the entire fucking world. Where is all you motherfuckers in the comments talking about, 800,000 black women are out of work now. We got to do something about that. Oh, they trying to fucking cancel the civil rights thing. We got to do something about that. They're trying to eliminate black representation in Congress altogether through gerrymandering. We got to do something about that. Y'all motherfuckers don't care.
They're trying to press charges against black folks like LaMonica
McIver. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver.
Still coming after Tish James.
Yes. So where's your fucking energy for that?
Where's the videos?
So I am not interested in having a debate about Jasmine Crockett's fucking record with people who did not give a fuck enough. Maybe you gave a fuck, but you didn't give enough of a fuck to have this conversation between the viral queen clickbait motherfucking monetization bonanza of a black woman, the same way that Kamala Harris was. Y'all had more motherfucking smoke for Kamala Harris during her 107 days than you did for Joe Biden, who was the motherfucking nominee the whole goddamn time. Fuck y'all. Good luck, but fuck y'all. And I'm not doing it with y'all. What does Keisha, what does Jerome, what does Pookie, what does Kiki, what the fuck do they care about? That's the conversation that I'm interested in having, because that's who I need to vote. The sexy red crowd, the NBA young boy motherfuckers, all of these, the Nike Tech crowd, whatever quarters it, that's the motherfucking people that I'm trying to reach. All this shit, y'all do your own work. You do your own fucking work. Because y'all don't give a fuck about us. And there are black people like Amanda Seals, who is now motherfucking a one woman issue, one person. Girl, bye. You can go to hell too. And the motherfuckers, all y'all want to get your pets. oh, because you can't stand a white person telling you that you ain't woke enough and that you, fuck them, fuck you. I ain't doing the work of nobody. If you ain't with this black woman, that's fine. That's your fucking body. You're entitled to do that. But I'm not going to sit up here and let these people who did not give enough of a fuck dictate the entire conversation around this one black woman. Because mind you, there were 30-something seats up for the U.S. Senate races across the country. Where is this conversation about any of those other motherfucking Senate races? I haven't heard it. So fuck all y'all. I ain't going for it. And I don't actually really give a damn about y'all having a fucking problem with her on it. Then don't vote, bitch. If you're a fucking Texas voter, then don't vote for her ass. Next caller. Vote for James Tallarico. And when y'all shove the fucking camera in his face and you ask him to motherfucking denounce Israel, you ask him to do all this shit, and he don't do that, keep the same fucking energy. Keep the same goddamn energy. Go follow his ass around and ask him all these motherfucking questions that you asking Jasmine. And I bet you he won't have the same fucking answers that she has. He might polish it more, because was he a preacher? He might be more polished. He might not tell y'all kiss his white ass.
Barb, what's wrong with your girl, yo? Get my money. I'm not going. What is wrong with your girl? God dang.
But the substance and the way he plans for, I can guarantee you, is identical to what the fuck, how she voted, how Colin Albright voted, that y'all didn't have shit to say about for 24 goddamn months.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a good point. Even during the campaign, when Colin, I mean, he came to be on the mic. There was no kind of talk around that. So it just feels disingenuous.
Oh. Oh man, the seals. This heifer here. Yeah, I'll read into her a little bit more. As a matter of fact, there's just a little bit
racist
vote, right? So these
time. While the displacement isn't as bad as 1963,
very much StreamYard. Now remember, we love a metaphor. We love placing the words in other ways. So get change. However, continuing to vote in establishment Democrats who support Israeli Zionism and corporatocracy is 100% not going to get any change. And then people's responses to that were, so then who are we supposed to vote for? All you do is just say things, but you don't say what to do. And my question is, why do you not have the capability to know how to synthesize information into action? That is because we have been so trained to take our cues from who people decide to be leaders. So I'm asking you all, what do you consider leadership? Because my version of leadership is in decolonizing minds to be able to be leaders. And the reality is that, well, my understanding is that you cannot have an effective resistance with a bunch of followers. An effective resistance is one with loyal leaders to the resistance. You're telling me Andor isn't a leader? Of course he's a leader. And that's a fictional character. However, it's very imperative to understand this. Followers are not what causes resistance, because followers follow whatever is leading them. You should be leading you. So what do you consider leadership?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Let me get.
Yeah, so I moved to Boston in 2011, so I've been here for a long time, actually. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years is the rate of gentrification and the way that it has continued to increase. And there was a group of activists that reached out to me, and they said they wanted to have a meeting with me to tell me about a new project, which is White Stadium, which is located inside of Franklin Park, that is also leading to more gentrification. So during that meeting with them, that's when I started to realize, this may need to be a bigger project. Like, I can bring you on the podcast and you can talk about it, but I think we really need to go through the history so that people understand how we got here. And so they were all for doing a documentary. So upon talking to them, I reached out to other residents, other people that grew up in Roxbury, grew up in Dorchester, and they told their stories as well. And ultimately, what we ended up doing is that we identified 4 harms that is leading to the erasure of Black Boston. And those 4 harms are gentrification, redlining, urban renewal, and mass incarceration, because it's different components that led to this. It's not just about White Stadium. The uniqueness of White Stadium is that we've seen this happen before in cities across the country, where the city decides that they want to build a new entertainment complex, whether it's a new ballpark, a new football stadium for professional teams, or a team that may be already there, but they want a new stadium. And I think sometimes what people don't realize is oftentimes those new projects end up replacing Black neighborhoods. Ultimately, they go to places where the land is relatively cheap, more affordable, so that they can build there. And that's where a lot of the gentrification comes in. So with that particular project that's happening right now in Boston, those investors that said, we're going to bring this women's soccer team to Boston, they have already started buying property around that area. So ultimately, this is what leads to part of that erasure. But I think what a lot of people don't understand about Boston in particular, if you've never been here, the Black culture here is not promoted. Most people, when they think of Boston or they come to Boston, there's a lot of Irish American culture that is promoted. But there are Black people in Boston, but they're just not, it's people were like, well, what about, right? So that was the easiest part. The most difficult part was finding the success, the historical success. Things that I found is that a lot of people here, they all know who Mark Wahlberg is. They all know about New Kids on the Block. But a lot of these people don't even know who New Edition is. How is that possible?
What? They don't know who Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike are?
Yes. And they were more successful than New Kids on the Block. But
even like 71. Oh, that Jasmine made, Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett, about her run for Senate.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Savvy, I had to put on my red lip so I could align with you. I said we gotta put her
and not policy. It's just it's giving me ego vibes, right? But ultimately, she's not running against Donald Trump. So I don't know who's making these decisions, Amanda.
If she's not running against Donald Trump, then who the hell is she running against? I mean, I know her opponent is James. James, I'm just going to call him James. I know who her opponent is, James, and I did hear her mention that there was a third party. I'm not sure. But either way, second or third, she's going to win the primary. But then when she wins the primary, the big finito is getting into that seat. And that, this is going to take some prayer and some going door to door, and it's going to take a lot of convincing, but this is the reason why I say the youth is very important. So if I were you, I'd get to work on that youth.
Well, you know, the thing about it, so at one point in time, Jasmine and I were actually really getting cool. And so there's things that I don't share conversation-wise because they weren't being had.
Oh, so it's personal. I get it. I tell ya. I get it. It's personal between these two. Got you.
In the context of her being a politician and me being someone in media or just an intellectual, right? Like they were conversations we were having off the record. So I don't share those things. Unlike my conversations that I have with Kamala Harris, which was very much in the context of you are the vice president of the United States and you summoned me here to try and confront me and you ain't had nothing to say. That being said, it has been quite disheartening to see just how quickly she has shifted from I'm a young, you know, representative that's entering the party to now believing that she is the future of the party. Based on what? Based on, I guess because she's been very vocal against, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican Party in general. She was more outspoken than others. But that's the easy part. It's easy to fight against Trump. It's easy to oppose the Republican Party. That's supposed to be your opposition,
Did you hear the jealousy in this woman's voice? To me, that was straight jealousy. I don't know about you. I mean, people in the comment section, do you think that was straight jealousy? Let me make sure.
And I feel like the ad also was, I don't know, it seems to kind of be all, ultimately she's not running against Donald Trump. So I don't know who's making these decisions, Amanda.
Hate.
Well, you know, the thing about it, so at one
hate.
point in time, Jasmine and I were actually really getting cool. And so there's things that I don't share conversation-wise because they weren't being had in the context of her being a politician and me being someone in media or just an intellectual, right? Like they were conversations we were having off the record. So I don't share those things. Unlike my conversations that I had with Kamala Harris, which was very much in the context of you are the vice president of the United States and you summoned me here to try and confront me and you ain't had nothing to say. That being said, it has been quite disheartening to see just how quickly she has shifted from I'm a young, you know, representative that's entering the party to now believing that she is the future of the party. Based on what? Based on,
This vagabond is jealous. That's all I heard. She went from a nice young senator, she was a nice young congressman woman to believe she'd be running for senator. Fair act. If y'all believe that's jealousy, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all believe that's nothing but jealousy coming out this woman's heart and nothing else, put a 1 in the damn chat. That's straight jealousy to me. Because she didn't say nothing else. This was about nothing else but straight hatred and jealousy and envy. That is crazy work. We'll play a few more minutes of this.
I guess because she's been very vocal against, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican Party in general. She was more outspoken than others. But that's the easy part. It's easy to fight against Trump. It's easy to oppose the Republican Party. That's supposed to be your opposition, They agree on more than we realize. But where were you when a genocide started under Joe Biden? See that?
Flip it, reverse it, throw it out the window. Joe Biden is not the president of the United States of America. Donald Trump is. Take that piece of bullshit, let me wipe my ass with it, I'll give it back to you, and then afterwards, put it in the toilet, flush it, and let's roll. I don't know if she's Republican or whatever. She's probably a conservative. No, she's not even a conservative, because what she did to Brian was way worse. What she did to Brian was way fucking worse. I don't even know what this chick is. It just seems to me that it'll be easy for me to say this is for a click and a view, but the agenda has gone far more than that. They are not really interested in any particular candidate. It's just one in particular who would follow their every commandment. It's just like this FBA type bullshit where they want to find a particular person who is in charge of the country, Donald Trump, and say, do for me or we're holding our vote. I don't give a fuck about your vote. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about your vote. He's got other people coming in the country, and you're going to be on the lowest of the totem pole. You're going to be dead fucking last. You're dead fucking last in this country. So what makes you think you mean anything to him?
That's the thing.
I can tell you where she was.
Yeah, it's like you're not pushing back against people in your own party that have made decisions that lead to the erasure of a group of people. Even now that Trump's in office, I mean, it's just, and we can get to the Israel part because I'm going to tell people who she really is.
Oh, but I left that for last because I know.
Pettiness, hominem attacks. It is what it is. Nothing but hominem attacks, and that whole Israel thing she debunked a long time ago. So we don't have to get into the details anymore. I mean, she said it herself. She didn't take no money from no AIPACs. She didn't take any type of money. And she voted. There were 3 types of vote, and one of the three votes she did vote yes to. But it was to fund Israel, fund 4 specific countries. One of them happened to be Haiti. But everything else she voted no to. So that's debunked. All I hear from Amanda Seals and this other woman is nothing but jealousy and envy at this point. But again, we are moving forward, and it's Jasmine Crockett / we don't care. Coming at him, I'm gonna try to come out with that. I'm gonna try to come out with that merch, people. But people keep taking my shit, so I'm gonna try to come out with that merch. Jasmine Crockett / We Don't Fucking Care. But in the meantime, in between time, go to change.org / Jasmine Crockett. Swear in Jasmine Crockett for USA. Definitely help your boy out. We are at 357 thus far. 357 signatures. We're going to need those signatures. We're going to need that and more signatures as the days go. We're going to need way more signatures. We're going to need way more support. Let's support as much as we can. And don't forget to support your boy We-On-Loc Nation. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And don't forget to become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. As a matter of fact, we have gotten a totally new membership. We have gotten a new member, y'all. We have definitely gotten a new member. Let me slide this over here. Thank you. Oh, and it's a white woman too. Cool. Thank you, LSB82. Thank you, LSB82, becoming the member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Let's keep going, people. Let's keep going. And support the channel. And support Jasmine Crockett. Let's get it.